Bruce Dickinson's surprise, Bring Me the Horizon's weird scandal, and Megadeth open a new chapter of the band. Metal is alive and well, so let's see what keeps it going today. Here you go. Bring Me the Horizon scandal. This week, Bring Me the Horizon found themselves at the center of a scandal. Out of nowhere, getting heat from their own fans. It all started when Bring Me the Horizon announced the VIP package for their upcoming tour, called Next Gen Experience, including the premium ticket, exclusive merchandise, a VIP merch booth, designated VIP entrance, and a lot of other things, which is nothing new. Pretty much every band does that, right? And yet still, this did not really amuse the Bring Me the Horizon fans. And all because back in 2013, the band's vocalist Oliver Sykes has given a lot of crap to the band Sleeping with Sirens, who back in 2013 announced their own VIP package, which by the way included a meet and greet with the band and a special photo with the vocalist, with Oliver saying that he would be taking all of the photos for absolutely free, and even calling the band not good rock stars. But the funniest thing is that the Next Gen Experience actually does not include a meet and greet with Oliver, or a picture with him, and yet the band is selling it for $350, when the Sleeping with Sirens one costed $50.
Let never live! Let live forever!
Making quite many fans not really happy with this decision. And here's the thing, I actually see nothing bad in VIP packages, seriously, at all. If there are some fans who are ready to pay $300 or $3,000 for meeting their favorite band, or looking at some memorabilia, or just to get an opportunity to purchase exclusive merch, that's absolutely fine. No, seriously, you don't like it, you don't get it, but let's be happy for those who can afford it and who are ready to spend that kind of money, seriously. So this news is just a reminder, actually for all of us, that whatever you say on the internet can and will be used against you at some point in the future. Here guys, I simply have to give you a rather sad piece of statistics that around 70% of the people who watch my videos are actually not subscribed to this channel. So if you're one of those, and especially if this is not the first video you're watching on this show, I would really appreciate it if you would consider doing it right now. Let's continue building this amazing heavy metal community together. A new Ghost saga. This week was simply incredible for all of the Ghost fans, as the band has finally stopped teasing and torturing their fans and finally announced their new studio album, Skeleton, which by the way will be out on April 25th this year, and even released the first single off of it. Musically, at least the first single of Skeleton doesn't really bring anything extraordinary or new to the table. So if you're a fan of a more poppier sound of Ghost and such songs as Mary on a Cross and similar to it, you will absolutely love it. Yet if you hated those, well, most likely this wouldn't be your gateway into the Ghost discography. As on it, Ghost decided to not reinvent the wheel and stick exactly to the formula that has been working for them quite well in the recent years. Which is nothing bad really. And even more, it would have been kinda stupid for them to not use it, given how well it worked for them in the recent years. And of course, in addition to that, Ghost also revealed their new frontman, Papa the Fifth Perpetua, alongside a new look of his ghouls. And here I just have to say something which I know will be most likely met with a lot of criticism, but while I totally agree that it makes sense for Ghost to stick to the same formula musically, I kinda think that it would be cool if the band would actually drop that same kind of theatrics for their 6th studio album and introduce actually something new. As in all honesty, I think a lot of people are getting tired of that same thing, and it definitely isn't really provoking anyone in 2025.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
But at the same time, I do understand that at this point we don't know pretty much anything about it, and more will be revealed during the band's upcoming live shows. Which, by the way, in case you forgot, we won't really be able to know much about it unless we visit their concerts, as Ghost announced a complete and total ban on all of the cell phones on their upcoming 2025 live tour. And here, by the way, I remember that last time I spoke about it, we had a rather heated discussion in the comments about a ban on using phones at metal concerts. So please let us know what you guys personally think about it. Did you change your opinion or not? And what do you think about banning phones whatsoever while at metal concerts? So I'm actually really curious to find out what you guys personally think about it, as well as the Ghost new single and Ghost overall.
I should have known not to give in.
A weekly update on Slayer's Not a Tour. Well guys, I know we spoke about it in our previous Metal Digest, but I guess we'll kinda have to make it a weekly thing, as this week Slayer announced 2 more concerts they will play in 2025. Yet still, it is definitely not a tour. Yet nevertheless, this July, for the first time in 6 years, Slayer will return with concerts to the United Kingdom, with what will become the biggest headline shows in the country in their entire career, and with the support acts by Amorphous, Anthrax, Mastodon, Hatebreed, and Neckbreaker, which I don't know about you, but sounds like an insane bill to me. Yet nevertheless guys, it's still not a tour. Just 2 more dates that all Slayer members will just randomly be at the same time at the same place, and that's why they just decided to play 2 more shows together. Yet still, no matter what you say, it is not a tour. And so the only thing we can all ask Slayer to do is maybe just get together casually and in exactly the same manner, just record a couple of songs, preferably 12 to 14, and then just casually release them later on, which will definitely not be a new Slayer album. No, seriously, can you guys just do that, please? And here, just like every week, I want to thank all my patrons and all of the YouTube channel members for keeping this show alive, as it is thanks to you and thanks to everyone who purchases Metal Pilgrim merch to rock out at their next heavy metal show that this show even exists. And if you would like to become a patron or a channel member and get some cool perks, like for example an early access to the Run For Your Life setlist prediction video, just know that all the links will be in the description to this video. And just in case if you decide to do that, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Paradise Lost return. British Gothic Doom metal legends Paradise Lost are almost done working on their new studio album, which according to the band's guitarist Greg McIntosh, Paradise Lost is half done recording and will most likely release sometime in September or October this year. And this, in my opinion, is simply incredible news! Now, I assume that not many channel viewers know that I actually love Paradise Lost. It's one of my favorite bands, and Paradise Lost was actually one of the bands which made me love metal back in the 1990s, as it was one of the only ones which my uncle, who made me a metalhead, had on his cassette tapes. And I actually believe that it is Paradise Lost's early material which has played an essential part in keeping metal alive in the 1990s. And even more, for me, their latest studio record, Obsidian, was actually the best metal album of 2020, as on it they were able to both return to their roots, but at the same time do it in a very modern way. And given the fact that even if Paradise Lost will release their new studio album in 2025, this will already mark the biggest gap in between 2 different Paradise Lost albums in their entire career. I'm actually extremely excited to hear their follow-up to Obsidian, and I truly hope that on it they will not try to reinvent the wheel, but rather give us that dark, gloomy, and very atmospheric Paradise Lost we all fell in love with back in the day. And here the time has come for your favorite part of the video, in which you don't have to look at my face, as this is the time when we talk about 5 latest releases from this week, which are definitely worthy of your attention. Volbeat have officially announced their 9th studio album, God of Angels Trust, set for release on June 6th, marking their first album since the departure of guitarist Rob Caggiano in 2023, and has also dropped the lead single By a Monster's Hand, which showcases their signature blend of driving guitars and anthemic vocals. In addition to that, in support of their new album, Volbeat will embark on the greatest of all tours worldwide, a 70-day tour spanning from June to November 2025. Destruction have unleashed their latest thrash metal assault, Birth of Malice, via Napalm Records. This album captures the band's relentless energy and classic thrash sound, solidifying their status in the metal community. Fans can expect aggressive riffs and high-octane performances that harken back to Destruction's roots, and I actually just released a long and in-depth interview with Destruction's Schmear on the channel, so check it out right after watching this video.
Souls watching steel, devil soldiers, just pure metal's real.
Cryptosis have released their sophomore album Celestial Death through Century Media Records. Diving deeper into darker and more melodic territories, the band blends futuristic themes with cinematic elements, offering a complex and immersive listening experience. And this progression showcases Cryptosis' commitment to evolving their sound while maintaining their technical prowess. And yeah, an interview with them is also available on my second channel, MP2. Spiritbox have unveiled their new album Tsunami Sea, Under Pale Chord. Known for their dynamic sound, this record pushes boundaries by blending metalcore with atmospheric and experimental elements, and although I am not exactly a fan of this kind of metal, I have to point out that this band is possibly one of the hardest working younger bands in the genre today, which definitely deserves my respect. Whitechapel have returned with Hymns in Dissonance, out now via Metal Blade Records. Delving deeper into their deathcore roots while exploring new melodic territories, this band offers a fresh yet very familiar experience for their fans. Definitely worth a listen if you are a fan of the band. And of course, all of these releases are already added to our new metal playlist Metal 365, which, just as a reminder, consists of 50 songs not older than 1 year old and is being updated weekly, so it's basically a Billboard Top 50 but for metal. And by the way, a cool thing, this week I had to delete Judas Priest's Invincible Shield from the playlist, as just now this album has turned 1 year old, and I realized that it was the song from this album that has lasted the longest in this playlist. So, hats off to one of the best albums of 2024. And please, Judas Priest, we need some more. Megadeth's new chapter. After 3 studio albums with Universal Records, Megadeth decided to leave their longtime label, and this week announced a new partnership with Frontier Label Group via Dave Mustaine's Tradecraft Print in collaboration with Blick. How do you say this? Blicky Blick Records. What a cool name. But the coolest thing in this news is not the label switch itself, but rather something that Tom Lipsky of Frontier Label Group just casually slipped in his statement, saying that the band is crushing it in the studio already and that their team is already developing an incredible global, I assume, marketing plan to shake up the world of hard rock and metal. Which means that the new Megadeth album is actually almost done, and we will most likely hear it sometime in 2025 or even sooner, despite the whole fact that just in September of 2024, Diemo Mentisari said that him and Dave Mustaine have started talking about new record. But nevertheless, it looks like the boys did not waste any time, and this, of course, is simply great news. Prodigal son Bruce Dickinson. Bruce Dickinson is about to do something that he hasn't done for almost 30 years. Go on a proper tour in North America with his solo band. And yes, you heard that right. The last time Bruce traveled around North America without Iron Maiden was all the way back in 1997. And so the North American Mandrake Project Tour will kick off on August 22nd with a concert in Anaheim, California, and end on October 5th in Los Angeles, with a weird one-off date in Brazil on September 7th, commencing just a couple of weeks after Bruce Dickinson finishes his first leg of the Run For Your Lives tour together with Iron Maiden. And this announcement actually tells us a couple of really interesting things. First of all, according to Bruce, this time they will add Shadow of the Gods to the setlist and a few other jams. So basically change the setlist quite significantly from what it was in 2024. And although in my opinion the 2024 setlist was actually pretty balanced and pretty great for what it was, knowing how much Iron Maiden and Bruce Dickinson fans love to collect new songs that they heard live, I think it's a really cool move to do it in 2025. And I really hope that he will include more songs from his 90s output, including, for example, Tyranny of Souls. Secondly, we now know that the band Bruce Dickinson will go on tour with will be exactly the same as in 2024, meaning no Royce Ramirez once again. And this is actually rather interesting because those who have been following the saga know that Roy was actually supposed to go on the Mandrake Project Tour together with Bruce in 2024. Yet last moment before it started, Bruce Dickinson announced that Royce will sadly no longer join the band on tour due to some personal commitments, which it looks like will last all the way until 2025 at least. And thirdly, well, now we can all drop all the speculations about what exactly will Iron Maiden do after the end of their European leg of the Run For Your Lives tour, as the answer to that is nothing. They will not do anything.
Yep.
And that means that they will most likely take their Run For Your Lives tour across the world in 2026 already, marking it another really busy year for Iron Maiden. And given how important this year is for Iron Maiden and all of the Iron Maiden fans around the world, we all of course hope that they will also carve out some time or something more than just a tour. And although of course this is just a speculation, well, one can dream, right? But anyways, what new music did you listen to this week? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and thank you so much for supporting me, this show, and Ukraine through this very difficult time. Please don't forget to like this video, comment under it, spread the word about this channel, and of course join our communities on Instagram, Facebook, X, Discord, Threads, oh my god, all these social media platforms you can possibly imagine. So whatever you use, just find Metal Pilgrim or go to the links in the description to this video and just join our communities there. I'd love to keep in touch even in between our YouTube videos. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll prevail. Slava Ukraini!